It's time for Show Me the Franchise.
With Thomas and Frederick. With Thomas and Frederick.
It's time for Show Me the Franchise.
With Thomas and Frederick. With Thomas and Frederick.
Welcome to Show Me the Franchise, the podcast that talks about franchises of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, genres, and types. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Stadler, here with the man who can really ham it up, Mr. Fred Dakin.
That'll do, Tom.
Oh,
That'll do.
thank you. The approval means a lot, and you're, invoking the farmer from Babe. What is his name again?
James Cromwell. Farmer Hoggett.
Farmer Hoggett. That's it. Okay. I was like, I can never remember the character name, but I remember it's Cromwell.
Yeah.
He's always given that. I just love that he's always stirring the pot a little bit behind the scenes. That's my favorite little factoid you learn about him.
Yep. Yeah. He is a guy who will stir up some trouble. Also, I do like that he's also very, very Mad Maxy in the Babe movie, as in not a lot of dialogue.
It's very true. Kind of like the silent, maybe not, I guess he's a protagonist of sorts, except when he's dancing. It's a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
So if anyone has had any questions on what we're talking about today, we are talking about, well, the movie Babe, but as part of a larger series here that we're talking all about pig movies. Pig-centric films, I believe, is where we landed. And it was funny because recently, so the whole genesis of like, why are we doing pig movies is that we had an opportunity to go see a live recording of a podcast for Babe 2. And obviously, in preparation for Babe 2, had to rewatch Babe 1.
Pig in the City.
Babe 2, Pig in the City. Thank you for...
Put some fucking respect on that movie.
I'm giving it a little bit of that little extra bacon grease to let it sizzle. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I definitely have some thoughts on Babe 2, which I'll definitely share. But it was like, well, we already did some of the research for this. What else can we watch to catch up? And so we found a list of movies today that we wanted to talk about, but we had mentioned we want to do something more fun this time, Fred, than just draft our favorite movies. We've been doing a lot of drafts.
I was trying to think of the last draft.
I think the last draft we did was it holiday music?
It was holiday music.
Yeah, I believe so. I was trying to think if we did anything before that.
I'm thinking the Marvel draft.
Marvel draft for sure. Did we do nothing around award season, right? Oh, we did our favorite Oscar years on the Patreon.
Did we do a summer blockbuster draft?
I believe we did, but we did it last summer, maybe?
So few drafts. I was more recollecting.
I see, yeah. So no, we've done a number of drafts. But this time, I think what we're going to do is...
And rankings.
And rankings. And I think today we're getting into a fun way to rank these movies. We are going to assign each of these a tier or put them in a specific tier from 1 to 5 stars. The old letterboxed ranking system.
Show me the letterbox.
Show me the letterbox. That could be the name of this type of format that we're using today here. Do we want to go through the full list of pig movies, or do we just want to go as we introduce them as we go?
I think we can introduce them as we go.
I like that idea. Because, I mean, I don't know that we can do a whole history of the pig or the pig-centric movie. I think it's just sort of like, I mean, truly, the history of the pig-centric movie probably starts with one of the first movies we get into. But I wanted to set some ground rules before we get in here, Fred. So, number 1, I think, is how we're going to determine the tiers. So I believe we have decided we have to agree on whatever the tier is going to be and argue our case for whether it belongs in 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. I was not going to do a 0 because it feels like no movie's worth a 0, is it?
No.
Certainly not in this draft.
I feel like half stars are reserved for movies that I feel are devoid of soul and or evil.
What's an example of a half star movie in your mind?
Gotta think of a good maybe like Rise of Skywalker has been on my mind recently. That kind of feels devoid of soul and just feels cash grabby.
Mm-hmm. That's a good example. Or maybe like, is Sound of Freedom in there?
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think of some more. I haven't seen this movie, but a lot of people are saying like that movie Mercy
Oh yeah.
had a lot of that.
Is that the one with Chris Pratt in the
In the chair?
Yeah.
He's in a chair, and it's like a movie about the dangers of AI, but it feels a little muggy. From what I heard, I've heard this a few times about the new Mario movie.
Oh man.
That it's just kind of like stuff to look at and characters to recognize instead of having, somewhat of a story, which I think the first Mario at least had something going.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, those are two I haven't seen, but that's, I kind of think what I like most things I'm given on. I rarely even give a 1.
Yeah, I can't think of the last movie, and I was going to pull my letterbox rank because I was like, nah, you know what, that's going to be a lot. I think you have to be a very specifically poorly made movie in order to justify a 1 star.
And I also want to say that like a 2.5 star, if we're talking letterbox, does not necessarily mean bad to me either.
Yeah.
Like we were talking just before recording, like I saw the mystery movie Fuse. I would say that's a 2.5 star movie, and I gladly give it that and call it quite enjoyable. But I think it's just like that's where it hits for my interest and just like where it was with entertainment level.
Sure.
But I feel like that's like a 2.5. We're looking at a 5 out of 10, or like even a 3. I know that's more than this. That's like a 6 out of 10. I feel a lot of times that's a sweet spot for a movie.
Yeah, I think a 3, there's nothing to shake a fist at. A 3 sounds better than a 6 out of 10, though, for some reason. Like
For
a 3
sure.
out of 5.
3 out of 5. That's something that's when you're getting to, I'd watch this again.
Yeah.
Where 2.5 can be like, I enjoyed that, but I don't know if I'm going back.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I did go and see a series of animated shorts at the Milwaukee Film Festival recently, and you're supposed to rank them between 1 and 5 in order to help assign the award, which all the films you rank 1 to 5. And there was definitely one film I gave a 1 to because I kind of felt like it was like, and I think someone else put this the best way, is that it felt like somebody's like senior year film project that they passed off as like something that they could submit to a film festival, and was like, oh, this is so artistic, and really it was just sort of like, I don't know, annoying is the way I would put it. And it even kind of like had like that whole thing of like it had some kind of artistic composition, and then they tried to get really like Lynchian with it and like make it like degrade and stuff, and I was like, this just didn't hit me at all. So, and then the other thing I was going to mention before we dive into our first movie, and I was about to do that, I think the only pig-centric movies, because I don't know that these qualify as pig-centric, are anything where a famous pig is a member of the ensemble. So we're talking Muppets, which we already did a Muppets episode. So sorry, Miss Piggy. Looney Tunes, which I don't think you could ever argue Porky Pig is the center character of any of them. And this was kind of one that I was going to maybe feel you out on, but like no Piglet-centric movies, even though I think Piglet has his own dedicated movie, doesn't he?
Piglet did get his own film.
I don't think I've seen it, though.
The Piglet movie, I believe.
Is it really just called the Piglet movie?
I believe so.
I'll have to look that one up. But, so I was going to exclude those. If you want to make an argument for including any, I can hear it, but...
That was not my concern. My concern, and I don't even know if I have any movies to flex this, I just want it to be clear before we start. Species of pig?
In what way are you referring to that?
Like Lion King 1.5, a pig movie?
But is a pig the centric character in that?
He's one of the eccentric. It's Timon and Pumbaa. It's a two-hander.
Sure.
Sort of the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of the Lion King films. It takes place during the events of, I believe, the first Lion King, kind of a before and after.
Interesting. So, trying to pass, because he's a warthog, right? Let's maybe start going through them, and then at the end, if we feel like there's still space, I might allow it.
So boars and hogs are a potential, but not
Potential, but not. Yeah, I would not say. I'd say this has got to be pig, because there's a lot of stuff to mine from just the classic pink pig. That's what I would argue.
all right. I just want to be clear.
All right, are we agreed on the ground rules?
Yes.
Okay. So let's jump into movie number 1, which I think is maybe the first instance of a pig-centric movie, even though this was not a major motion picture. It is the 1933 animated short film, Three Little Pigs by Walt Disney. And I guess it's technically a silly symphony, which was their version or answer to Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just realized those are basically just like two different descriptions of the same thing. A Looney Tune and a silly symphony.
Yeah, sort of, for sure.
So they're just, it's kind of ridiculous. But this was one of Disney's first, like, full, I mean, not a full length movie. I think Snow White would have been that.
Yes,
But this was definitely one of their first major efforts.
definitely.
And we also have Three Little Pigs. It's a classic story.
Yes.
Disney adapting something that is already kind of in the lexicon of the American public at that time.
Yes.
So, how do we feel about the Three Little Pigs?
Well, you know, when I was familiar with the original story, classic story, obviously, I remember watching the cartoon, but we have learned later in life that the events of this story, which we've seen many ways, actually did not unfold the way that it said it unfolded.
So you're referring to, it's a specific book I'm thinking of, right?
Yes.
Something like the Big Bad Wolf, like.
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I'm just saying with the Three Little Pigs, I think it's important to point out that the events, we have kind of a Rashomon situation here where the pigs have their story, the wolf has their story, and, you know, it's up to you who you believe.
You know, you're actually bringing back a memory from elementary school where we had to do a mock trial, but we based it on a few different fairy tales. And one was Three Little Pigs versus the Big Bad Wolf. One was Goldilocks versus the Three Bears.
Yeah, home invasion.
Yeah, I mean, but so are we saying the Big Bad Wolf did not invade the homes of the pigs?
He did not. I believe he was sick and was just trying to procure items to give to his grandmother to make a cake. He went to the houses and he happened to sneeze because he has allergies or something. And he happens to blow down the house and the pigs happen to perish. And he did the thing that he thought was the right thing to do, which was to clean up the situation.
And that's eat the pigs, depending on the story you follow?
Yes.
In this movie, I don't believe he eats any of the pigs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know this is one of those stories where there's variations.
Yes.
Similar to Little Red Riding Hood of how devious the wolf is portrayed to be. But as we see later in life, you know, things are not how they always seem.
No, in this one, we have Fifer Pig, Fiddler Pig, and Practical Pig, who are singing Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf. Very famous song now, I think, right? Like, I think we all kind of know Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf. I mean, on that alone, I think the music kind of carries that movie, despite it only being 8 minutes long. But, yeah, this is the one where after
Inspired a great play.
It's true. Which is that? Oh, Virginia Woolf?
I don't know, maybe.
Who's Afraid of Virginia
Yeah,
Woolf?
I
mean, it inspired the title for sure. That's a movie we'll be sharing for another episode. Not pig-centric in that regard. But I believe this is one, though, and I could be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure this is it. But basically where the pigs all run to their brother's house after he blows down each house. And so then the wolf gets it in the end by trying to climb down the chimney, gets his ass burned. That's that.
Now, is this labeled The True Story of the Three Little Pigs?
No, I believe this one is just The Three Little Pigs.
See, this accounting is The True Story. So I think we should probably, look, we're not even getting to the quality. We're not getting the star rating. I'm just trying to get the story straight about the Three Little Pigs.
So are you trying to knock down the ranking here by basically saying that this is a falsity of what we've actually seen depicted?
I just think that it has to be considered.
What would you give this movie?
Give it a 2.
A 2?
Yeah.
All right.
There's better adaptions, including this book, which tells the real story.
I feel like that's kind of harsh for a movie that helped launch the Disney brand.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think this is an old-fashioned movie that needs to be redone. Bring on a hip director. I'm thinking a good fit would be Clint Eastwood. Because it is about a man being railroaded by the system.
I mean, I could see Clint giving his very quick turnaround. I'll shoot this in a month. No problem. Yeah, I don't even know if he sounds like that anymore. He's kind of old.
Yeah, and this would be a good project because it's animated. Hopefully, stop action maybe. Him and Henry Selick could work together. I think those two guys in a room would hit it off.
Oh, my God. I can't imagine.
So, no, I don't want to derail things. I don't want to set things off course. I just want to take everything in when we're going to give a ranking to this somewhat dated piece of art.
I would argue this, though. Famous song. Animation's pretty classic. And it's tight 8 minutes. You're not going to spend a lot of time watching this.
Well, you could say pretty much the same thing about another movie we don't watch anymore from the Disney collection.
Which is which one?
Song of the South. Catchy song, animation. I'm just saying some of these Disney films are outdated. They don't look at history through the right lens. So that's why I give my rating Three Little Pigs 2 out of 5.
Yeah, obviously, when I think of things that you can equate to Song of the South, the Three Little Pigs is the next one on the list. Listen, I'm not willing to die on a hill to push for a 3-star rating. I would have given it a 3. If
2.5 is sounding good.
I think we got to. Can we do half stars though? Then that's 10 different tiers. I mean, 5 is pretty clean.
Well, how are we going to meet in the middle then?
I mean, I think we got to decide. Is it going to be 2 or is it going to be 3?
All right, I'll let you have this one.
All right, 3.
But then later, when I'm really passionate about something.
I just want to start us off on the right foot.
Okay.
I think this is a perfect middle of the road production.
History will judge you. Let's go.
I know
Let's
it
go
will.
to the next one.
All right, great. So we're going to jump way. Should we go these in release order? Is that how we want to do this?
Nah, you can do whatever order you want.
All right. But you know what? I think it would be good to stick with the animated classics here. So the next one then that we'll introduce is one that I know you like to talk about, and I want you to go off here a little bit. Talk about the Animal Farm from 1954, animated Animal Farm. Have you seen it?
The animated Animal Farm, I forgot existed. So I will get to it. I prefer the 90s Animal Farm.
There's a 90s Animal
You haven't seen the 90s Animal Farm?
Well, no.
You haven't seen Bad Boys 2. No. So maybe we were on different wavelengths when we were talking about the original Animal Farm.
I think we might have been. So, okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say I might have to watch that animated Animal Farm now that I know there's one from the 50s.
Yeah.
Talking 10 years after World War II.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I was referring to, are you pulling up the 90s one?
I'm pulling up adaptations right now.
Of Animal Farm.
Double checking this. Yep. So we have, okay, here we go. We have Animal Farm 1954 animated film. Animal Farm 1999 live action TV version.
Hell yeah.
And then we have Animal Farm 2025 that has not been released yet. Andy Serkis's shit show.
Look, we're going to leave a little space right here, and maybe I'll see this movie because before we get further, I'll just say Animal Farm's like one of my favorite novels because it combines things I like. It's kind of like the movies I like. It's taking big ideas and it's taking genre, and the genre is talking animal like stories,
Yeah.
and combining them into something that kind of reads like blockbustery almost. Like there's a lot of like intense action, like events in it. I wouldn't call it action, but it also has these really big, deep themes, and it's also kind of dark.
Yeah, it is.
So
It's very anti-communist, right?
yeah, so I really liked Andy Serkis, who has been directing movies, made I think it's called Mowgli, which was on Netflix. Did you watch this movie?
I don't think I saw that one.
I've always recommended it. I don't know why I got lost, because in this movie, it's like, I think Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett. He is playing Baloo, and it's like a more truthful adaptation of the original story.
Okay.
It has the technology that Andy Serkis is all about, the stop motion. So all the actors wore all the doodads, and when you watch it, Christian Bale plays Bagheera. You can see Christian Bale's face in the performance of the animal.
Oh my
Same with the bear, but the story doesn't follow the traditional Disney version. It's like I said, it's more like that '90s Jungle Book with the guy from Mortal Kombat.
Oh my gosh.
but-
okay.
So I really recommend you to watch that. It's very good. Anyway, that got me excited because Andy Serkis was like, my dream job is to do Animal Farm. So I'm picturing the same technology, getting actors. I'm assuming British actors that are gonna, do the face technology, and we're gonna have this dark animal farm with kind of these weird, realistic human-faced animals. And now it's like an Illumination style movie that has like the energy of a Minions movie,
Yeah.
but it has this darkness of the story where in the like promos they're selling horse glue. So I'm very excited to see it. So long way to say, if I do go see this movie, I feel like I can insert a voice memo at some point, not necessarily on this episode, but
Yeah.
like in the future, because
Sure.
I'm sure it's going to be worth checking out. But back to these other adaptions. The 1999 one has like the Babe technology, but it's the story of Animal Farm.
Oh my God.
And the cast is super deep. It's like Pete Postlethwaite is the farmer, Patrick Stewart, Fraser Crane,
Oh my goodness.
Julia Louise Dreyfus. Did I get that right?
Yes.
She's in it. Like, it's a pretty deep cast, and it's telling the story.
I have to look up this cast.
Look up
now.
the cast.
I just need to see who's all in this. You have Kelsey Grammer, as you mentioned, Ian Holm, Julia Louise Dreyfus, Julia Ormond, Postlethwaite, Patrick Stewart. Pretty crazy. So I've never seen this. So I think there's going to be some of these that it's just going to be on us to I think it's going to be right here and now, because you've seen the live action, I've seen the animated. Is it good? This 19?
It has the limitations of a TV movie adaptation, but it's like 95% faithful to the book.
Oh, okay.
And again, it's implying it looks kind of like a slightly cheaper Babe, because Babe still holds up, like the effects and everything.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
especially after watching the live action Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
You realize how good Babe looks. And I feel like it looks close to that for the animal effects.
Wow.
So you're getting, just literally picture Animal Farm with the Babe effects. That's what it is.
Man, it's crazy.
And that vocal cast, that darkness, it's good. And I don't know if I can get, that's a hard one for me to give a tier rating to, a star rating, because it is like personal to me. I remember watching it at a family's house and the mom's turning it off
Wow.
because she was like, this is getting kind of dark, and looking at the back and seeing it was unrated because it was on TV. And that's kind of how they did it at the time.
Right.
And then I had to wait to get home, and my mom let me rent it because she just sees talking animal movie. I think she knows Animal Farm. So she's also just like, oh, the novel, that's not messing her up at all. But yeah, I loved watching that because it was a little dark. I could grasp the themes on a very elementary level. And so for me, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars, even though it definitely doesn't deserve that.
Well, you know what though? It's what your heart is telling you, and I can't argue the
can't
opposite.
argue it.
I mean, I know it's a good story, which I will speak to the 1954 animated version. So we actually had to watch this in high school because we were reading Animal Farm in a history class or world studies class, I think, where we were learning all about communism. And they were like, well, you guys should watch and / read Animal Farm. And I just was reading some information about this. In 1974, the creator of this movie revealed that he had been sent, or I'm sorry, not the creator of the movie, the widow of Orwell was encountered by the CIA Psychological Warfare Department to obtain the film rights for the animated movie. And it was the resulting 1954 animation was funded by the CIA. So, I mean, this tells you kind of a lot about this whole movie, right? I mean, or the story in general. It is anti-communist. It is very much a political type story, but with dark themes, as you mentioned. You know, I mean, we're talking about horse glue as a promotional item for this new movie, which
this horse gets like the Trump cabinet member like treatment, where like he gets used up and then just fired in quotes as in sent out when he has no more use. Like, it's a story that's prevalent.
It is. It's an ever-present one. I don't have a great memory of the 1954 one. I kind of feel like, in comparison to another animated classic we're going to be talking about coming up here, I don't think it quite held up the same. I remember the animation looking a little shoddy. I remember it kind of feeling a little like, I mean, yeah, it's government funded. It's just sort of like propaganda at the end of the day, right? And I kind of feel like, you know, it's probably a classic for a reason. I would throw it maybe a 3 just to be on the very safe end. It's got decent ratings on IMDb, and that's what I'm mostly going off of. And the memory of just being intrigued by the story and being intrigued by how it was produced. And I think it's a pretty decent voice actors. I'm sorry. I don't know. It looks like they had one
compared
guy.
to the 90s.
They had one guy doing most of the voicing. But I don't recognize his who this is. So I'll just go off of that.
Yeah, it's I do like the idea of like Animal Farm being like Trump with Citizen Kane, how he likes that movie for the wrong reasons. I love Animal Farm. Those piggies just grab themselves in those bootstraps and tape over that farm. They get to eat in the big house.
It just, clearly has no idea what he's talking about. My God. So, I mean, Animal Farm, interesting story. We'll definitely have to hear some thoughts on the new one whenever you or I get to see it.
Which I'm sure will have some talking pigs.
I hope it does, because otherwise, why are you seeing that?
Or is it all just sheep, I guess?
I do feel like it's probably mostly sheep, but I'm sure there's pigs in there. Let's be honest. It's got Hugh Jackman. Why wouldn't he want pigs in that thing? I'd love to see a pig. I don't even know what he sounds like with his real Australian accent. He never uses it. Coming up next year, though, we have another animated classic. So I'm potentially skipping the one we talked about first because I'm kind of going in order. I think we can actually kind of do it that way.
All right, do it then.
Let's talk about Charlotte's Web. Story about some pig.
Yeah.
And some pig speaking more in the classic, like, that's some pig.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it takes place in Maine, though. I don't know why I'm using a southern accent. It's more.
Does it take place in
more of that transcontinental?
Yeah.
Some pig, you know?
Yeah, it was one that like I grew up watching and could kind of just map over, my own childhood. And not that I was like, I mean, I had a pig.
You did have a pig.
Yeah.
What was the pig's name?
Wilbur.
Was it Wilbur?
Was Wilbur.
Wow.
I think he, we got a potbelly pig as a gift. Took care of him for a while. He ended up, I believe, getting a brain tumor.
Oh, no.
This is right around after my dad had passed away. It was just me, my mom, my brother.
Oh.
Pig moved into the house, and was like losing its mind pretty much. And like, it was kind of scary. It was like in Pet Cemetery, how the mom has that sister who's like slowly dying but is very scary. I had that kind of relationship, but with a pig, because I would like try to go to the bathroom. I'd be like walking, trying to be quiet, and then like, yeah. So I have interesting memories growing up with a pig. He started nice and cute, and then he got big and had some issues.
Oh, that's really sad.
Rough life for Wilbur in the end.
Yeah, sounds like it, which is somewhat the opposite of the Wilbur in the story. Did that impact your vision or your recollection of Charlotte's Web at all?
It just was one of those things where, like, anytime anyone would be like, "Oh, it'd be great to have a pig," I'd be like, "Yeah, they're nice when they're little, but then they get big and they yell at you.
Yeah,
They move into your house and start yelling at you." But this animated one, this was a grandma's van classic.
Yeah.
And we had it on VHS, and it was in the van all the time. So it was like, oh, short trip, throw in that Charlotte's Web.
yeah. This was definitely a childhood classic for me as well. One I could probably earmark is one of the reasons I think I don't have much of a fear, the same kind of fear of spiders that other people have. I think it did as the story intended and destigmatized fear of spiders for a child. And I can know that, or I see a lot of people get the willies whenever they see a spider. I'm very okay, because I was like, you know why? Because that spider, Charlotte, she was real nice to that pig. Spiders eat bugs. Keep the mosquitoes out from biting you.
Yeah, Charlotte's a real one, but no, keep any spiders away from me, dog.
I think it was that, and then paired around a similar time in elementary school where we had like, I don't know why I have all these memories of elementary school, but I think it's just like all these movies kind of like were around that time. But we also had people who brought in like, you know, like it was like career day of sorts, but like we had like an animal like not a home, but maybe like animal tamers or whatever. They brought like boa constrictors.
Oh, yeah.
They brought like a tarantula, and they like let the tarantula like crawl across your hand, and it was defanged, so it wasn't gonna bite you or anything. But like I said, I think it all those things kind of together, and now it's just like spiders are okay. And I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a nice guy.
Yeah.
That's another movie I think quite outside the range. We don't have a Spider Pig movie yet, so I don't think Into the Spider-Verse can be part of this. But Charlotte's Web, nice spider, riz up the pig, stop him from getting killed. Pretty nice. What do we think of it overall, 1973 version?
I mean, this animated version will always have a special place for me. And it's been, I read the book when I was younger. I can picture like the front cover so vividly.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, I feel like another movie on this list that we'll get to, very similar story, very similar themes, just spoke to me a little more, and I feel it's a one walk so the other could run situation for me. But I would give this, I'd give this a 4-star.
Okay. I think I can get on board with a 4-star there. This had Debbie Reynolds voicing Charlotte, which is a pretty big name for that. Henry Gibson was Wilbur, who I think more people would remember from, man, he's been in a couple movies. The thing I would know him from more easily is like the Blues Brothers. He's like the head, like Illinois Nazi on the bridge.
Never seen Blues Brothers.
Wow, you got to correct that at some point. Great music. But he's Wilbur. And then, of course, Templeton. Templeton was Paul Lynde. You probably know him from all those Hollywood squares like Best Clips.
Which, like, Templeton is just, like, shooting threes in the animated movie, if I recall. Sadly, great casting in the live-action version. Don't love the dial, like what they do with him in that for some reason. Just not working.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a stretch. But, yeah, I think we give this one 4 stars. But let's talk about the live action, kind of animated, computer animated, but it's a combo. It's live action and computer animation. Charlotte's Web from 2006. This one stars Dakota Fanning. And
very awkward phase of Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, a little bit.
somewhere between the I Am Sam and the Twilight films kind of era.
Yeah. She's sort of like not quite a teenager, but like preteen.
Yeah. I think this, so it's 2006?
Yes.
So this is after Man on Fire.
Yep, and after World of Worlds, but she was pretty young in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. This movie just didn't do much for me.
Oh, and I'm like, who are these human actors?
Yeah. Well, when you're giving Robert Redford the voice of the horse, you got to pay the voice of the horse.
Yeah, which like there were good like the ideas of casting were great. Like Julia Roberts as Charlotte, on point. I kind of think she's got a great voice for it. I wish she leaned into her southern a little more.
Yes.
Wilbur just sounds like a Rugrat. I don't know who he is. He's not a Rugrat, but he might as well be.
I was going to say, we'll be talking about a true Rugrat coming up here.
Templeton, like I said, I don't think he's written as well. He's a little too gross in this, but I mean, Steve Buscemi playing Templeton is pretty inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like trying to think, was there any other big ones? I was like, yeah, that's on the. I mean, I can't think of her name right now. She's Matlock now.
Oh, Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Her is just a cow. Like
Yeah.
works for me, I guess. But yeah, it's like they spend all the money on the animals, and then I was like, who are these people in this movie?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Because I'm like, you couldn't get, but you know why though, right? It's probably like people that needed to be available because they needed to film all these animated scenes, right? So much easier to get Kathy Bates, Robert Redford, Steve Buscemi all in a booth to record some voiceovers rather than cast them as Fern's dad, right? Like,
Yeah, I feel like they could have gone for one, but yeah, I thought this movie stank. I thought it was bad.
it was really boring. That's what I thought.
I'll give it 1.5, but I know we're not doing half, so I guess I'll give it 2. If you want to give it 1, just be mean.
I don't know if I want to be that mean to it.
Well, you can't be thinking 3.
No, I
So
think
then it's 2.
I think I'm go 2. It was just extremely mid. I mean, not even mid. It had nothing really to offer. I didn't think it added anything that the animated movie didn't already do. And that's kind of it was very much in a time where like, look, we can computer animate the animals. But again, we talked about it too. Other movies on this list did that better.
10 years before, I believe.
Yeah.
I think exactly a decade before.
Yeah. So I think that's where it belongs. It is a 2-star movie because it's not terrible, but it's also not great. Fred, for this next one, I'm going to zigzag a little bit because I think I want to save one more before we get there. We've been kind of going in release order of sorts. I want to talk about another animated movie to kind of wrap up, I think, the animateds on this one, right? Because I'm looking at what's left. I think this is the last one. Porco Rosso.
This time the pig is fighting the fascists.
This time, yeah, pig fight fascist. This is a not pro-communism, but anti-fascism movie. And I watched it for the first time ever last night. I was telling you I had full intention of watching most of the movies on this list that I really had not a lot of familiarity with, but had a power outage on Sunday night, and that really threw a wrench in everything. So last night I had to make a choice, and I'd never seen Porco Rosso, and I felt like that was one I needed to watch in order to make sure I could speak to it. I watched the subtitled version, though, because I knew you had a lot of familiarity with the dub, and I got thoughts. But what are your thoughts on Porco Rosso, the Studio Ghibli classic?
It's been a while, and I've only watched it once. All I really recall is I really dug that Michael Keaton as Porco Rosso. I love him just vibing by the beach, not being bothered.
He is, I think, the person that I would not have necessarily picked out of a hat to play Porco Rosso, but also that sounds super interesting. Who else is in the English cast?
That's all I remember.
I'll tell you who's in the English cast then. We had, so Keaton obviously is Porco Rosso. And what is even in the plot of this movie? It's just like, yeah, he flies a plane, he fights fascism, he's a bounty hunter. He used to be a man, turned into a pig. Everyone else in the movie is a human, which is kind of hilarious that's how it turned out.
Yeah, it's a bit like those scenes in Peanuts.
Oh,
with the Red Baron, but it's Porco Rosso instead, and he's fighting fascists. It's I watched it once when I was doing my Ghibli run, like pandemic times.
Sure.
So it's been a little while.
So Curtis, the American, this is a hilarious casting for this too, considering that they cast Michael Keaton as Porco Rosso, who he's a very Italian, the pig. I love the Japanese voice actor because he definitely had one of these types of like konnichiwa, ha, 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 like doing a very like Italian accent, but with speaking Japanese. It was great. Cary Elwes is Curtis, which I think I could see him playing a very like stuck up American because he does that pretty well in. Is it Stranger Things that he does that?
No, he's like in that he's like a waspy like mayor, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
But he is a little stuffy in Mission Impossible.
That's true. He is in that. My gosh, I almost forgot about that. And then we have Kimberly Williams Paisley is Theo, who you might remember as. Let me see what she's actually in. Does that name ring a bell though?
No.
Well, so she plays the young pilot, or I guess the young engineer who rebuilds Porco Rosso's plane.
Hey.
She is, the daughter in Father of the Bride.
Ah.
She is Annie.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, that helps connect the dots a little bit more. I was curious who voiced Gina as well, but I can also just kind of look at that. Susan Egan. That's another name that doesn't.
Susan Egan. She's Disney, I think.
Oh, is she?
Click on that. I think she is Meg, or she's the Little Mermaid.
Correct. She is Meg in Hercules.
Hey, she's not that great
nice
voice.
work. And then Brad Garrett is one of the old women.
Everybody loves Porco.
But it sounds like he's. Oh no! Okay, he is the leader of the air pirates. Mm-hmm. So interesting casting, especially watching the Japanese version. I liked a lot of the story. I would not say it's a top Studio Ghibli movie for me, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
The airplane sequences are a lot of fun.
I remember it being like a good throw on, but it didn't wrap me.
Music very good though. Like the music a lot. What would you give this one?
I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
I could go with a 3.
Just because the ceiling for the Miyazaki is so much higher for me.
I would agree with that. And also I think the ceiling for what a 4 or 5 star on this list. I think there's only one movie I've got 5 penciled potentially in for. And we maybe can revisit that Charlotte's Web for a 1. Because it should be, I don't know that every tier needs to be represented, but I'm also like, it'd be interesting if it was. If we can make an argument for it.
Yeah, I'm shooting from my hip.
Okay. So I'm okay with 3 stars though. I think if I could actually rate it, I would give it more of a 3.5, maybe 4.
Well, someone got rid of the halves.
I know.
I just think I can put Miyazaki movies I like 1 step more and 2 step more. That's why I put it at a 3.
I think that's fair. There are some very, very good ones. It's a good Miyazaki
Like
movie,
that's
though.
like not scraping my top 5.
It would not be my recommendation for a first foray into Miyazaki.
No.
But it is one that's like, if you're watching them, you should check it out. It's fun.
What I always feel like I need to catch the vibe of the person. If they like some weirdness, I feel Spirited Away, even though that's like the hardest spot to follow. Still think that's one of the better ones and a great movie with pigs. Parents turn to pigs.
That's true.
So that's another Miyazaki pig movie.
Does that count? Is it pig-centric though?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out there, and that's like Spirit Away, Wind Rises. These are like 5s for me, and then I feel like Kiki is like a 4, and that's where Howl's Moving Castle's a 4, maybe like a 4.5 for me. So that's what I mean. Like I've got like so many loftier ones up there.
Yeah. And I haven't even seen them all yet. I still feel like we got a lot more to explore.
Ponyo, I like more.
I'd be curious if we had included Spirited Away. I think that would be an easy 5. I think it's a cheat though, because it's not really pig centric.
That's like, yeah, that's my. It's either my first is tied between Wind Rises and. I like The Boy and the Heron more than Porco Rosso.
Oh, I mean, I need to revisit that one, but I did like
that
it.
one grows on me. That's a big bedtime watch because it's another one you kind of fall asleep. Like it's got crazy stuff in the first 5 minutes, but then it's just perfect for sleeping.
Yeah, no, I think you've justified the argument enough that there is certainly better Miyazaki overall, and there are ones that are way more worthy of a 4 or 5. But I mean, it's kind of like some of the classic Disney. Some of them are just all really good, and also some of them don't age that well. So I was gonna jump right into Babe next. Should we talk Gordy? Because you were.
I was just saying, if we were gonna do an episode about pig movies, you probably should watch Gordy.
I just ran out of time on Gordy. I watched a trailer for it. It looks like a 90s Babe knockoff.
But did it come out after Babe?
I think it was around the same year.
Yeah, I think this is kind of one of those like in production at the same time sort of dealios.
So yeah, Gordy, 1994. The release
1994.
Yeah.
So that's like 2 years, 1 year. Because I think Babe is 5 or 6.
The release date for Gordy was May 12th, 1995. Babe was also credited with 1995. Release date is being listed as August 4th, 1995. So Gordy did beat it to the theaters.
So Babe's kind of a better knockoff of Gordy. So I'll say Gordy is definitely more of like a Disney family movie.
Sure.
It doesn't go as dark, but it's very similar plot to Babe, except it's more like he goes on like a road trip and becomes famous. He does save someone from drowning, sort of like another pig we know. And he does sound, again, kind of like a Rugrats character when he talks. It seems like that's the voice. If you're gonna do a pig, he's gotta sound a little like this. I'm large white. Well, that sounded a little Margie, a little bit.
Little Marge. I'm trying to see who actually voiced. Wait, does Gordy talk?
Gordy talks.
So, okay. I guess
And
you were saying.
Gordy's kind of like the bells from the Polar Express, where like if you're a kid pure of heart, you can hear Gordy. You can hear any animal talk.
Oh my God. This is crazy. I'm just like looking at this. There's like not a recognizable name in this game.
It's very much like Joe Dirt a little, where he's like trying to find his family and he's like going through the world. He has like kind of multiple people he hangs with to get there.
Sure. Justin Garms voices Gordy. Oh my God. Currently he's just some guy.
Just some guy.
Yeah. But
I'm lost. I'm a pig.
This is a classic, though. Sounds like two different, similar ideas. Same time development, different studio. That's how you get The Illusionist and you get The Prestige. That's how you get, what was the other one I was going to say? It's like a classic case. There was like 2 movies same year that were like the same basic movie.
Dante's Peak and Volcano?
Is that same year?
I don't know if it's the same year. Outbreak and that other one. I know those are like pretty close to each other. It's Outbreak and something else.
Yeah. Man, there's like a way more obvious one that I know I'm missing. But anyway, all that to say, Gordy sounds like
2 out of 5 stars.
2 out of 5. You're going as high as 2. Okay.
What's wrong with Gordy? You don't even know.
I don't
You've
know.
never met him.
I never met Gordy. I don't know that I'd have a good time watching Gordy, but you know what? If you say 2, then I got no argument.
Yeah, you can't. You literally can't argue because you didn't watch.
I just you selling it though on Joe Dirt, the pig movie, doesn't sound like a great time.
You don't like Joe Dirt?
Joe Dirt's very okay at best.
Come on.
It was a Comedy Central classic is what I feel like.
Remember when he finds the meteorite?
Oh my God.
It's
It's just
you see,
shit.
that's a peanut. That's a space peanut.
Oh my god, it's so gross. Anyway, so moving on. Let's talk about Babe. 1995's Babe. Babe is a movie that I think if you described it to somebody who had never seen it, they'd be like, sounds fun. But then you realize it was also well decorated. It was super well received. It was a box office hit.
The opening credits.
Opening credits are just like
Yes, this is a Stone Cold masterpiece, I would say.
calling it a Stone Cold masterpiece.
Yeah, what's wrong with this movie?
Man, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's well decorated, well acted.
Good set design, good
Great
acting.
set design.
It's a basic story, but it's supposed to be an accessible story. Mm-hmm. Looks good, well acted, good music, a good song to tie the whole thing together, and the effects hold up for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was going to go 4 out of 5 for Babe. I think you could talk me into 5 if you have like, because I don't know if I can poke holes into it. Other than that, I'm just like, I don't know. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong at all. Like, I'm not here to like talk down Babe. I'm just like, is it a 5-star? Is it it's a perfect movie in your mind?
I don't have any problems with it. I also don't, when I rate movies, I feel like I want more 5 stars than most people because I think it's more fun to give that versus like only Citizen Kane, Jaws. These are the only 5 stars.
I like to reserve it for a very special movie. Is how I look at a 5-star rating.
Special pig.
I mean, it is a special. He's some pig, but not Wilbur.
Yeah, like I said, Charlotte's Web walked so Babe could run.
I mean, it's a very fun premise. He's a sheep pig. Babe's very kind. It's very easy to cheer for.
Found families.
Yeah. Has another stupid friend, the goose that or the duck that gets him into a lot of trouble on the farm.
Circumvents bigotry.
Sure. Avoid slaughter. I mean, it's the valuing things that we see just as food.
He's the one that is willing to reach across the aisle.
Yeah. I think if I had any specific criticism, and I can't go off of this other than it's just a vibe, I think Babe doesn't wow me in any way, but it's so well-rounded in every aspect of how it was made that it's hard to argue against anything in it. It's just a personal thing. I would just be like, if I was rating this on Letterboxd, it'd be a 4 under 4.5.
No, I'm gonna say 5.
Do I go 5? So I'll say this. Do you have anything else on this list you were going to rate 5?
Yes,
How many others?
just one.
I will acquiesce.
Yeah, I think it's fair since I acquiesced earlier.
I think to say that this deserves a 5.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have to acquiesce.
I don't really see a good argument against it. It's a really good movie. It's well done. It's well made. Babe, Pig in the City. What a fucking trip this movie is. If anyone has not seen Babe. So, okay, let's talk first and foremost. Sum up Babe in, 20 seconds.
Pig finds his purpose and avoids his what is it called when you have the preconceived destiny? There's something destiny.
I mean, that's just what I would think is like your predetermined destiny or your
Something like that. But it's like how if you assume it's gonna go one way and you kind of push yourself into that story. Babe pushes himself out of what his predetermined destiny would be and creates his own destiny.
yeah.
Pig of destiny, as the mice actually say.
They do say he's a pig of destiny, and he wins. Babe's famous. Second movie, it's like, okay, more great times on the farm, right? Wrong. we go into the city. Now, sum up the second movie in, I don't even know if you can do this in less than 60 seconds.
Well, the big insane instance, after coming home and being famous, he accidentally gruesomely injures his boss, his owner, the man who saved him. And he's deeply affected by that, because he's kind of been this hero pig. And now it's like that hero's journey of like being set back. It's like Spider-Man 2 losing his abilities sort of deal. And he has to learn that it's all right to put yourself at risk and save people again. And I think it's about doing what's right, even when other people around you are doing the wrong things.
I think there's something to that. Maybe seeing the good in the darker side of the world, potentially. But in maybe the most twisted George Miller way possible. Because we should know, okay, so George Miller produced both of these movies. Both of them look like a George Miller movie, but the first one is not directed by George Miller.
And it's not as kinetic, I would say.
No, but it is aesthetically, it looks like a storybook. I think is what's the best compliment you can give it. And it's got great role for James Cromwell, who is in a combined 5 minutes of the second movie.
Yeah.
That was shocking to first of all realize how present he is in the first movie and then not present at all in the second movie. You also had Hugo Weaving, and who is the voice of the
not Miriam Margolyes, that's someone else.
Isn't it her?
I think I'm combining two names right now.
I know who you're talking.
Miriam Margolyes?
Well, no, that's Julia Margulies. I think.
See, that's the two names I'm combining. Miriam something.
No, I think it is Miriam Margulies.
So, yeah.
Or Margoyles? Yeah. Margulies. I don't know. Anyway.
Professor Sprout.
Yeah, it's Professor Sprout. So her
and Sponge.
Sponge?
From James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, Speaker Henry Selick. Right, that's a Selick movie, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah. But so her and Hugo Weaving, big parts of the first movie, very quick bit roles here in the second movie. We get a lot of different people. We had Christine Cavanaugh voicing Babe in the first movie, who's the voice of Chucky Finster on Rugrats. And we talk about Rugrats as voices. Replaced by E.G. Daily, who voices Tommy Pickles on Rugrats in the second movie. So very fun idea that they picked somebody who probably had a lot of familiarity with that voice already of the person they were talking to. And they also had very similar voices, although, I don't know. I always like Christine Cavanaugh because I was a big Dexter's Lab fan too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I thought E.G. Daily did a very, very fine replacement voice for Babe. So that didn't bug me at all. It was just the aesthetic and George Miller's crazy dark take on what a city is. A city that is basically like every city USA that he goes to. We see a dog almost die. We see another dog that's turning tricks for to survive. What else happens in this movie?
Like Orangutan Flophouse.
Yeah.
But with a family of monkeys.
Yeah. Mickey Rooney.
Is it someone right? He's the radio guy, and he's the guy on the couch from Half Baked is the one monkey.
Oh,
he's the you're now listening to K. Billy sound of the 70s from Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. Oh God. I had a professor once that just loved that guy's stand up too. God, what is his
Stephen
name?
Wright.
Yeah, Stephen Wright. That's it. And he actually his stand up is very good if you've never seen it.
I bet it's dry.
It's dry, but he also has like it goes in directions you don't ever quite expect him to go. But yeah, you have a very disenchanted or just sort of like a disillusioned monkey or orangutan that doesn't quite believe in that he is what he is.
It's a little bit of an Oliver and Company story.
Sort of.
I meant to say Oliver Twist, but Oliver and Company also same thing. You know,
It's something
getting
like
taken by some street smart thieves, but these thieves aren't looking out for your best interest necessarily.
No, and in some ways, I think it also has shades of like The Godfather and like making somebody, and maybe it's just because of the one dog that gets saved from drowning, and we almost witnessed a dog drown on screen, which is very, very disturbing. But just very like the chief has something to say. Like it's just his voice. It's pretty incredible. I think often about that dog.
Probably hands down the like one of the top George Miller action scenes.
You talking about the dog chasing the babe?
The dog chasing Babe, the first half is amazing. Like I think like because I wouldn't necessarily say you got to watch Babe 2 again. I think now that like that's washed over you, watching that chase scene up to when the dog, is about to drown. You don't have to watch that.
Yeah.
That chunk is my hands are in the air like a Mr. Martin Scorsese. It's cinema.
Wow. Yeah.
The camera is moving. It looks real. It's very Mad Max. And then when the dog gets caught and is dragging the chain and just the like blocking of the canal where he's getting chased around, it's getting caught on different things. The space between the pig and the dog, it's crazy tension. You're laughing because it's so ridiculous, but also like this is high octane action filmmaking.
It's true. And then, of course, you have Mickey Rooney wearing Chekhov's clown pants that can play a very large role in the climax of the movie when Mrs. Hoggett, who is essentially the secondary lead of this movie.
Yeah, who after I watched during Babe, I said to my partner, I cannot fuck with this woman. She is too much. She is talking too much. She never lets things go. She's always talking about how we should eat Babe. I told you guys after this movie, I'm like, Mrs. Hoggett's a bad bitch. She is. I love her in the second movie.
Well, because she throws down for Babe, and she's willing to bungee on these clown pants to get Babe in a very ritzy and what felt like a very pointed commentary on high society in the city and how they treat animals or things that don't belong from the outside in their fancy party, like something like in a ballroom. And we were talking a lot about ballrooms recently. We're hearing way too much about them. And are they secure?
It's true.
And you know what? This movie proves not even a ballroom is secure.
No. Yeah.
All it takes is a woman bungee jumping in clown pants and a bunch of pigs and monkeys and whatever else, dogs getting in there. And suddenly it is a madhouse.
And those shots, it's like crazy that they like had to like stitch in all these shots of all these different animals to have these like great shots of all these animals in one thing together. Like again, the effects, like you can't really poke a hole in the effects. You can maybe poke a hole in the like what it's doing, but how it does it, it's pretty steel. This
is maybe, and somebody said like Babe 1 is to Babe 2 is Mad Max Fury Road is to Furiosa. I think there's some validity in that.
I think it's just Mad Max to Mad Max Fury Road.
That could even be that. But I feel like Mad Max Fury Road, though, succeeds in ways that Mad Max doesn't, because Mad Max was also so minimalistic. And you could even talk about the Road Warrior, I think, is almost the more...
That's what I mean. Like Road Warrior versus Fury Road.
Yeah, Thunderdome was the half-baked version of Fury Road.
That's like the Hook movie, which I like Thunderdome.
I mean, Thunderdome is certainly...
I could see why people who wanted Mad Max don't like it. But I like it because it's a movie about a bunch of kids doing Hook stuff. So
yeah, I suppose so. It's a Hook movie. Yeah.
Tina Turner...
Yeah,
is that the right one?
Title track.
And I mix her up sometimes.
It is not Whitney Houston.
Simply the
Tina
best.
Turner. Yes, she's simply the best.
It's got a big guy, little guy.
Yeah, it's true. We're getting off the rails here, Fred. We're talking about Thunderdome. Save it for the Mad Max episode. An episode that's going to be very interesting because we have to talk around Mel Gibson for 3 of those movies.
What did he do?
Oh, we talked about some anti-isms already in this episode, and he might be among something as bad as No, not as bad as anti-fascism.
Whoa, Tom.
I mean, he's as bad as fascism itself.
No.
Anti-fascism, good.
Mel Gibson is fascism. Get the new Show Me the Franchise t-shirts.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So what do we give him, Babe 2?
Well, you know, I want to give it 5, so let's start talking.
You cannot give this movie a 5.
Why? What's wrong with it?
You want me to start on what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
I mean, you watched the movie that I watched, right?
Yeah.
That movie is, I think, it is executionally, it is executing what it's trying to do. You're 100% right there. What it's trying to do is a fever dream of pure insanity. I think its production value is great. Its story is completely bananas. I don't know how that even got greenlit, other than George Miller just basically had a blank.
Well, you know why the story was like that? Because all the chimps in the movie, it had to be bananas.
I should have seen that coming. I would give it a 3, a gentleman's 3.
Little 4. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? Oh, man. I'm losing my mind just a little.
You're right.
That's a song.
You're right. It is a song, and you're right. I think we have to meet in the middle. Somehow, Babe, Pig in the City is going to be a 4-star movie in this.
Just 1 star less than it is on my letterbox.
Unbelievable.
I'm
All
just saying, if you pulled up the letterbox reviews, I'm talking just the general public, and scroll down those, how do you think it's looking?
I'm going to pull up Babe, Pig in the City while we start talking about one of our last 2 movies that we have on our list here. And so I think the next one, if we're going in release order, would be Okja?
Yes, which I feel is I think because this one is talking so much about like the meat industry, and I think specifically it's really targeting the pork industry, even though Okja is, as you mentioned before we like recorded this, kind of an amalgam of animals. It's very much a pig.
I think you sold me when it was described that it is a genetically super altered pig. That is so. I think that locked it in. And this goes the furthest in on the animal rights. We shouldn't be. Well, I think Bong Joon-ho, who is a genius, I think.
He made the Oscars kiss.
Yes, he did. He is a genius in his own right. I think his movies are some of the most politically charged. They have a lot to say compared to Babe, Pig in the City, which is a very unhinged movie.
I think it has a lot to say about society.
It has a 3.2 on Letterboxd. I gave it a 3.5, so I feel okay about a 4. I think this movie, though, is definitely maybe his most on the nose political commentary, which I do think in some ways hinders it just ever so slightly in compared to some of his other movies. But so it's a super genetically altered pig. Basically, it's a giant pig that almost looks like a hippo, like, right?
Yeah.
And so similar to some of these other pig movies, have a little girl who gets very attached to him as they're like raising it to basically be butchered, right? Like, oh, it's prime meat now. And they're like, no, you cannot butcher Okja. And they're like, you're right. That should be our spokesperson. Meanwhile, there's all these other Okja types that are getting slaughtered. And so Okja, very unhappy with the fact that its family and brethren are being slaughtered, and it becomes a whole fucking ordeal. Tilda Swinton's a very strange character, as she is in many Bong Joon-ho
Very
movies.
normal Jake Gyllenhaal performance.
Yes.
It's very similar to his the Music Man guy from the John Mulaney the Sack Lunch Bunch.
Oh my God. See, I was like, how many layers deep are we going here?
I feel like his character in that and the Okja character, like, they're related.
They are somewhat similar. Although, actually, I don't think I've seen the Sack Lunch Bunch.
You gotta watch this Sack Lunch Bunch. It's like skits and little songs, and it's John Mulaney. Come on.
It sounds good.
Grandma's Got a Boyfriend.
It sounds fun. But this is a very Jake Gyllenhaal is starting to feel himself. This was around the time he did Nightcrawler too, or close to it.
Yeah, I love a freak boy Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, him kind of getting in his bag is fun. But yeah, this movie though, production value quite good. The graph, I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't know how the CGI holds up, but probably fine.
Yeah, it's also got that Bong Joon-ho like humor that sometimes doesn't work for me. Like I felt like I did not gel well with Mickey 17. It's a movie I was not huge on, even though I love another guy like being a little freak boy, and he is very much a freak boy in that movie. I do kind of like the more Parasite host brand of BJH.
He definitely shows something a little bit different in this movie, even compared to like, weirdly, the one I equate, and probably because it's the closest one to being made to it, was Snowpiercer. I feel like in terms of like that tone that it's trying to, it's a little more self-serious than something like Parasite, which is a lot more of like, it's being serious, but also in a very funny, dark way.
But that's like kind of sharp satire humor in Parasite, where there's like this broad goofiness that's in Mickey 17 and Okja.
And this is definitely a big feeling movie where I think Parasite's very quiet because it's all in the house. So this is not my favorite Bong Joon-ho. I would not say. Like you mentioned, the host and Parasite are probably up there among the better ones of his. And I really want to see a couple of his others that I remember I got to see. There's a whole exhibit in the Oscar Museum. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts, the museum, on Bong Joon-ho and how he even like made his scripts, and it made me appreciate his process a lot more too. He puts a lot of thought. It's the one where he was researching the
serial killer one.
Yeah.
That one I would like to rewatch. I haven't seen that.
That one sounds awesome. Like just the amount of like effort he put into that. So I appreciate that he always has such a vision and an idea with this. This one, I would probably fall closer to the, you're on that 3.5 range.
See, that's the thing. It's like I hate giving it a 3, but I can't quite give it a 4. So I guess we're gonna have to give it a 3. It's a 3.5er for me, I think.
It does feel wrong giving it a 3 because it feels like maybe a better hang than a 3. I mean, it is a true, I think, 3.5 if you had to give one. This maybe can be our one exception, or we drop it to a 3. Your call.
Do a 3. I don't want to give any special treatment.
Yeah, that's fine. I think, and I like it. I do like the movie, and I want to make that clear. I just sort of feel like, again, it's the whole Porco Rosso of it all. When you compare it to what this really good director is capable of, it'd be like trying to give the original King of Comedy or something like that more than like 3 stars when you know that there's Raging Bull and all that out there for like Scorsese. So that gets us to the last one then, Fred. And I think a good way to polish this off, because this is maybe the least pig present movie, even though it is absolutely a pig-centric movie. It is the movie Pig, starring Nicolas Cage. His second foray into a movie where he co-stars with a pig. Because he's also into the Spider-Verse. He's Spider-Noir. How do we feel about the movie Pig?
Well, I love it. It was made by another alumni brother, Michael Sarnowski, graduate of, graduate of University School Milwaukee. I've got season tickets for because I love the movie Pig so much. I loved his Quiet Place movie. He also made that If, which is a John Krasinski, but I think that feels like a higher job. Like,
yeah,
that's like I'm gonna work it, and that was more of a Krasinski brainchild thing. But the movie Pig is a great kind of first movie, and it's got all the stuff I like. It's got a great Nicolas Cage performance.
Yeah,
very subdued. I kind of thought he got a little snubbed when it came around awards time. I think when we did our ballot, we gave him some love.
Yep.
It's like this high-end cooking world thing that I love so much that it's like the seediness of it kind of reminds me of the movie The Game in a way, where it's like this is like the back wall of this world that we're all looking at. And I love that it kind of just pulls a Ratatouille at the end, and it's about forgiveness.
Yeah. Because I think the magic trick that this movie almost plays on the audience a little bit is it feels like it's one step away from turning into a John Wick movie, like at a few different corners. I think especially when he goes to like the Fight Club or whatever there was, or that area. And I'm like, is this motherfucker going to get in the ring and just start rocking people? And then this is just going to turn into like, I'm going to start busting skulls to find my pig. And it never turns into that. And it's so much more interesting for that reason.
For sure. And it's also like, I love any movie where like a guy is like well known and renowned, goes away and comes back, and he like revisits all the old people. Like, I know there's like the scene he goes to like the pastry chef and he gets the ingredients or whatever. Just like he can get into all these places because once he drops who he is, he's like this well-known chef.
Yeah.
And I love the dynamic between him and the little shit-ass Hereditary kid.
Alex Wolff, yeah.
Yeah. Playing like the greatest douchey guy. I've met people adjacent to that, like on a much smaller scale, because
Sure.
I lived with a guy who was like the head like grill chef at Mason Street Grill.
Oh, wow.
So I've met these kind of like food industry adjacent people who think they're hot shit. But it's Milwaukee, which is even funnier than like, because this is like out in Washington too, which also like, I love that it has that like overcast, mossy feel. Like the movie feels like a truffle being grown with like that moistness.
Yeah. I totally am with you though on it. It is a, I don't know, just a dark meditation of sort, but it doesn't ever feel too dark. Like it keeps you in a very like, not suspense, but just like you are so interested in where is this going to go? Is he actually going to find the pig? And I mean, I don't want to spoil it. I think people should go and watch this because it's an incredible movie.
Good Adam Markin.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually trying to see what else Sarnowski did. I don't think
He's got a movie coming up. Do you see what his movie coming up is?
Death Stranding,
No. Another movie.
Death of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
You and your movie trailers that you've been dropping recently.
I love an A24 period piece movie. It looks like Northman Robin Hood.
I don't think he did Imaginary Friends though.
He did If.
I don't know that he did. I don't.
His name popped up. Maybe he's like,
He might be a producer.
it could be. Because I was surprised when I saw that too. But I was very surprised when I saw that he went to my school.
Yeah, which is very
And you know how old he is?
35.
30.
30.
He's 30, 95. So that means he made Pig, what? That was
Mid
2001?
Yeah. Yikes, dude.
Fuck him.
Honestly, dude. That kills me. But he did do A Quiet Place Day One, which is another movie that I liked quite a bit.
I say there has not been a bad Quiet Place.
No, I don't think there has been.
Like 2 is a little like samey of 1, but if I remember watching it and being like enthralled watching it, doesn't. I think both those first 2 movies don't have rewatchability.
Yeah.
But I'd kind of be curious to go back and watch the third one again.
I think I liked Day One better than 2. That's how I feel about that. But all the same, so Pig, really good movie, pleasant surprise because I think that was kind of a pandemic watch for you, or maybe kind of right near the end of that.
It's 2001, so right around there.
2021.
That's what I mean.
2001. I was like, yeah, that'd be some time travel right there. 5.
I would love to give it 5.
I think we go 5.
5, fuck it.
If we're giving Babe a 5, I think that deserves
All right,
a 5.
I dig it. Yeah, I don't have any problems with that.
I'm actually kind of surprised how much we did not disagree on a lot of these. But I mean, I wasn't going to be here and be like, no, you're wrong. This is bad. I think the only one we really differed on was Babe 2.
And we found ourselves right in the middle.
Well, we had to because I think we had very spectrum answers.
But did you see who's playing Little John in the death of
I did not.
Bill Skarsgård?
Bill Skarsgård, really?
It's a tall boy.
I would almost feel like I would almost put Alexander in there, but he's maybe too much of a leading man for that role.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I think I'm gonna. That's one I'm kind of waiting to hear the buzz. But
Yeah.
I mean, the guy of every movie I've seen of his so far has been very good. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, his list looks pretty good. He's got a lot of movies I have never seen, but yeah, I'm definitely I'm on the cusp of getting those season tickets. So
Yeah,
like, if he hits this one out of the park, I think he's there. He's kind of become Ari Aster at that point. So I think that gets us to the end of our list here, Fred. Should we run it down here quick?
sure.
Okay, so we did not end up putting any into the 1-star tier, and we can maybe shift here. I think this is our opportunity here. Do we want to start from the bottom or the top?
Start from the top.
Okay, so we have 2 movies in 5-star territory. We put Pig from 2021. We put Babe. We feeling good about those?
Hell yeah.
I think we're locked in. Our 4-star movies are inexplicably Babe, Pig in the City, Animal Farm 1999 live action, and the 1973 animated Charlotte's Web.
That's a good bunch.
I kind of feel like some of those are a little suspect to be a 4-star, but I don't know what else on this list belongs there.
Yeah.
So those are our 4 stars. I guess they're fine as we stand. I mean, yeah, I'm good with C-Web there. I can live with Babe Pig in the City there. You feel strongly about the Animal Farm slot.
Yeah,
right
why
there.
not?
All right.
I mean, it like I said, it's got the limitations of a TV movie.
Yeah.
But I feel I can't dock it for that.
Yeah. Here's where I think we could maybe have some movement here. So we have 3-star tier, 3 Little Pigs, Disney animated version, Animal Farm 1954, the animated one. And Okja and Porco Rosso.
I think you putting the animated Animal Farm at a 3. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
I feel okay about it.
If you feel okay, I'm just reading those all together. If you, from your memory, feel that's good, then
If I had one thing on this list so far that I feel like could be elevated, I would maybe see an argument to put Okja in a 4-star. I think Porco Rosso belongs 3.
okay,
Do you want to move it up?
sure.
I think it feels better with that group that's in the 4 stars right now. Because right now I feel a little out of place in those 3s. Porco Rosso, it's still fun, but I don't know that I'd make the argument for. We said 3.5 for Okja, right? So let's go up to 4. Yeah, that's good. 2 stars then. We had Gordy, and we have the
Live action.
live action Charlotte's Web.
I would say definitively that Gordy and the live action Charlotte's Web are like on a level playing field quality wise.
Okay. So
They both have me guessing who are these adult actors? Both movies have that quality.
But yeah, I mean, we don't have to be mean. We don't have to drop anything to 1 star. So be more for variation. I am just looking at this list right now. I'm like, do all these make sense? I think the 4-star tier is extremely sus to me. It's a lot of 3.5s, I think, guised as a 4-star movie, but that's okay. I think we're going to be generous today, and nothing's going to get a 1 star, despite maybe some deserved criticism for the live action Charlotte's Web and Gordy. I feel good about it, though.
Yeah, I think it's nice not putting anything at 1.
Yeah, you don't want to smoke a movie that's not worthy of
And
it.
even if Gordy isn't the best of quality, am I going to put it in 1 when I had it on VHS and I watched it multiple times? Like, can I do that to that memory of Gordy? That poor pig?
I mean, no. You got to be nice to Gordy. Nice pigs deserve some love. Today, we choose to not downgrade the pigs. We are going to celebrate the pig, and we celebrated it. It's not the year of the pig. No, this is the year of the... I should know this because my child's going to be born this year. The year of the horse? I think it's a fire horse.
'Cause baby, you're a fire horse.
Yes, year of the horse 2026. I was questioning it for a second. But
I think I'm a horse.
You think
Doesn't it repeat? I'm remembering looking at the Chinese menu.
Okay, so a horse is born in 1990.
Yep, I'm a horse.
You are a horse. I am a rabbit. I know that. Year of the pig might have been last year then, maybe. Looks like it was. No, I'm sorry. We haven't had a pig in a while. It was 2019. So the next one will be 2031. Will be a metal pig, which sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah. Do you want to throw any other movies in, like Copland or?
Copland. I get what you're going
I
for
was
now.
being a butt.
You're being funny. I get it.
Copland, that's a good movie.
I've never seen it.
You ever seen Copland?
Is that Marky Mark?
That's no. It's Sylvester Stallone, Ray Liotta, the Wolf from Pulp Fiction, Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, the wolf.
Who is the annoying white guy that is in every like predominantly black movie, and he's annoying about politics. He's like a redhead.
Martin Freeman?
No. Is he? No, this is an American from New York, and he'll show up in a movie and sound like this. He's in True Romance. He's got Floyd as the roommate.
Oh, God. I know exactly who you're talking about, too, but I cannot pull his name out of my hat.
It's him, but in the 90s, so you like seeing him?
It's Michael something or other.
Robert Patrick is in this movie. So this is what it's about. It's about how, okay, you have New York. There's New York police.
Mm-hmm.
They all live in a small New Jersey town where they kind of like do whatever they want because they're crooked cops. Stallone is the sheriff of that town.
Oh, boy.
And with the crime that they're the shifty police stuff, Robert De Niro is in it. The shifty crime stuff they're doing trickles into the small town. Carmela Soprano is in it.
Oh, now if we're talking about Carmela, now I'm interested. No, I don't know.
I'm telling you, this is like a Stone Cold classic no one talks about, and it's like Stallone is acting in it. Like, you know how like when Stallone does it?
Yeah, when he actually like gives a
Gives
shit.
it?
Yeah.
This is a because he's a guy who like doesn't have hearing in his ear from like a shootout. Like he used to be one of these guys, but now he's like paunchy. He's like, oh, I think I live here. I take care of things. But then when the time comes, Copland.
Oh my God. Well, perhaps I'll throw that on so I can get my full pig movie catalog in there. But no, I think we've hit all the pig movies. I think if I had a coulda, woulda, shoulda, give me Babe 3 because I want to see how fucking weird that would be.
Yeah, I think George should go back to the well.
Yeah, and I would love to see just some. I don't ever need to see live action Miyazaki either. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Don't sell out like Disney did. Some of those movies are not good. Although that maybe gets us to talk about what's coming up next time, which I'll mention because we might be talking about some live action Disney adaptations, or I suppose just live action adaptations of a movie that also Disney adapted. Although they did a live action version of it. We'll get to it.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I know what we're talking about. I'll tell you what we're talking about. Any last thoughts though on pig movies?
No, I agree. It'd be cool to get a Babe 3. I know like it stinks that Andy Serkis's Animal Farm is not like it's like. Do you remember like hearing about Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah,
like those conversations in basements, like in like your teens, like Tim Burton's gonna do Alice in Wonderland, man. It's gonna be trippy, man. And then you see it and you're like, this is the worst dog shit ever.
Yeah.
That's how this felt for me because Serkis has been talking about it since the Apes movies.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, he is gonna make this great, dark, realistic looking Animal Farm. It's gonna be great. And that's apparently didn't happen.
Makes you a little nervous when you think about the fact that he's gonna be doing a Gala movie and I love Andy Serkis, the actor.
And I like him as a director for the most part. I thought his Let There Be Carnage was a dumb, fun movie, but looked good.
Yeah.
I thought, like I said, that Mowgli movie is good. The guy knows movies, and he has that technical skill because he developed this, type of technology that's used. So he knows how to make movies. So I feel like this is something that got away from him.
Sure. I could see that. But maybe we'll be talking about it. Well, we will be talking about it. I think reviews when we do finally get to.
Yeah, I'll shoot out something once I see it. But that would be like a quick coulda, woulda, shoulda. I know we're not officially doing that. But yeah, Babe 3, and I wish that had happened better.
Yeah, I think that's totally good. So we've showed the franchise. We've ranked the movies. I think we're at the end of the episode here, Fred. Before we go, though, anything that you would like to plug?
All right. So May 30th, pilot season's back. I'm going to be performing with the Daily Herald the Friday before. So the 29th and 30th of May, you can see me at the Interchange Theater. We're getting close. We're going to have to get a rehearsal on the schedule, maybe 2 rehearsals.
That might be.
Because the father figures are coming back for a Father's Day show.
That's true. June 13th, we will be doing a Father Figures. Fred and I back on stage. We've been plugging that for a bit, but it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, Palindrome will be opening, which is the team that I coach, which means I can double book myself to show up versus having to do 2 nights. It took me a while to figure that out. That's how every other coach books, but now I know.
And now you got the shortcut. So Palindrome is opening for us. That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So check us out, interchangetheater.com. You can see Fred in all these great shows. And you can also see me then coming June 13th. And then it'll be my last one for a while, I think. But that's going to be okay. Got a lot of exciting family stuff coming up for myself. But I'm also going to plug some stuff for the pod. If you enjoyed this episode, please remember to rate and review it. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Join our Patreon for just $2 a month. You can get an exclusive bonus episode. Fred, this month, we're upping the ante a little bit on the Patreon, because we already talked about some changes in pricing, but this month we're doing The Mandalorian on the Patreon. This is by far going to be our biggest Patreon episode yet. Mm-hmm. You guys are not going to want to miss that. I know there's a limited time menu tie-in with the movie that's coming out. We're going to be talking the series, and I think we're going to try and get some thoughts on the movie. We can get out and see it in time, which I'm planning to. You excited?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm all grumpy about it because I'm mad that this is what they chose to come out the gate with. I'm going to be all poopy, and then when it gets close, I'm going to whip myself up to be psyched about it.
Yeah.
And then I'll have an okay time.
I think it's going to be fun. You know how they do that now. It's fun. It's Favreau, so I'm like, hey, he can kind of do some stuff still.
I'm very excited to see my sad boy as Rhoda the Hutt.
Oh, yeah. Stinky.
Yeah, Stinky.
Yeah, which is just a great little throwaway from a terrible, terrible Star Wars movie that generated a great TV show, which is the Clone Wars. So the Clone Wars movie, not great, but it introduces Stinky the Hutt, and now we're going to see him in live action by Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, I was trying not to say Julia White.
Yeah, Julia. No, that's a little bit more.
Can I do that?
He's a little more Urkel than Jeremy Allen White. But yeah, so Patreon, check us out, patreon.com/show me the franchise. And then special thanks to Nick Spitza and Mike Schwantz for our opening and closing theme song. And stay tuned for our next episode. Fred, this is what I was referring to before. We're going to be talking about Peter Pan.
Oh, yeah.
Many adaptations of that.
Mm-hmm. Hugh Jackman.
We get some Hugh Jackman.
And Jude Law.
Some movies I got to check out because I've never seen a couple.
Yeah, I'm going to watch, because I don't need to watch the animated. I don't need to watch Hook, but I'm going to watch Pan and Peter and Wendy.
Okay.
The Lowery.
Those are the two I think I still need to see, because Pan is the
2011 sort of. The vibe is like Moulin Rouge, but Pan, from what I recall.
But what about the Jason Isaacs Peter Pan?
Forgot about that one. That's like the 2000s one,
where they had the trailer with clocks in it. I was like, oh yeah, baby.
Mm-hmm. So there's kind of two gritty ones, then one sort of like Because David Lowery also did the Pete Strage movie with Robert Redford,
Which I liked, yeah.
which is like kind of like a contemplative, like slower kids movie. And I remember putting on Peter and Wendy and liking it, but I put it on at night.
Yeah.
It was a straight to Disney Plus, and I was in my bed.
Yeah.
And oh boy, I went to Never Neverland.
Yeah. So we've given you guys a lot of stuff to do some research for yourself for
get
the next
caught up.
episode. I almost forgot we're not doing the episode right now. But yeah, there's that. There's the Mary Martin live production recorded
Yeah.
things. Listen though, you're gonna be seeing some white people dressed in red face. It's not gonna be
Oh,
great.
don't spoil what we're doing for the episode.
It will be great. We're going to treat it with the respect it deserves, and we're going to treat the subject matter with the proper lens. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time.
Oink.
Oink, oink. Do I smell bacon? I definitely smell a pork product of some kind.
I've got no cares, 'cause all I want to do is charge my phone and drive listening to you. And what they talk about will always be up to you.
I was early.